The South African Communist Party in the Cape Metro has held its 7th District Congress, focusing on the cost of living crisis and ending extortion. The Congress allowed the SACP to reflect on its past work and create a plan for the future. The party's dominant view is for independent, contested elections in the Metro, as per the last National Congress resolution. The Congress unanimously elected officials from the District Executive Committee, ensuring the party's commitment to local issues. Monde Nqulwana, SACP's Western Cape re-elected Brian Bunting District Secretary, joins us for a discussion. A very good evening to you. Thank you so much for your time. Perhaps congratulations in order, re-elected the Brian Bunting District Secretary at the Congress. What does this mean to you?
Good evening, Bali, and good evening to the listeners and viewers at home. We are very much appreciative of the effort and the trust given to us as this DEC, taking the South African Communist Party programs forward in the Cape Metro in particular.
So you held your 7th District Congress under the theme, Tackle the Cost of Living and End Extortion Now. Extortion crime has surged dramatically in South Africa, despite the latest statistics only reflecting 30 cases across the country in the first quarter. South Africans are still not coming forward out of fear and intimidation. Speak to us about the relevance of such a theme.
The South African Communist Party in the Brian Bunting is adamant and confident that to defeat the extortion and crime in the Cape Metro, it requires capable leadership together with communities to engage the justice cluster, safety and security cluster. If those three components are able to work together, we will be able to claim our streets back into our communities. These thugs, extorters, criminals that are extorting the businesses and community members are drawn and are coming from the same communities. It is for us as the South African Communist Party to mobilize all our branches through street committee establishment, vetting of the community leadership in particular. This thing needs leadership because this is an organized crime. If community itself is not organized, it's going to be unable to deal with this. But more importantly, the relationship between what the state seeks to do and what the community thought it should be done must be integrated, because currently both components are working in silo, and that creates a situation that the criminal network run without any fear in our communities.
In fact, as you speak about silos, the SACP's General Secretary, Solima Baila, has been very critical of late of what he describes as the behavior of ANC leaders in selecting its GNU partners. What's your position on a provincial level?
As the Brian Bunting District Congress underway, we are calling upon the public and the society, including the African National Congress, to understand the position in which our General Secretary is speaking. It represents the South African Communist Party's view across the country. This cannot be given as a Mapaila statement or an issue. This is an issue of the South African Communist Party branches, as it is in our District Congress today.
So the party's dominant view is for independent contested elections in the Metro, as per the National Congress resolution. Perhaps expand a little bit on that as we speak about also what came out of the Congress and some of the opportunities that the Congress has provided.
The 15th National Congress of the South African Communist Party that was held in 2022 reaffirmed and endorsed the position for the SACP to contest elections with or without the reconfigured alliance, and mandated the Central Committee to develop modalities in respect to implementation of that resolution. The augmented Central Committee took place in 2023 between March and April, in which the modalities were presented. And now the South African Communist Party at the district level, the view of branches from coming across the district is that the South African Communist Party must prepare in the district a program clearly to establish election structures in preparation for 2026 local government to be contested by the South African Communist Party independently of the alliance. In this instance, the branches of the ANC are alive to the reality that the Western Cape is governed by a DA which is let loose, no proper and meaningful opposition to it. So the South African Communist Party will not be contesting the alliance. Instead, will be contesting the space in the Western Cape that is governed by the DA. So we are, as a district, in implementation, taking forward that 15 NASA Congress resolution.
In perhaps scrutinizing the impact on the ANC with this position, you know, what are some of your thoughts around that as we look at what this could mean?
Currently, we are in a government of national unity in which, as the South African Communist Party across the country, including the brand banding, which is the Cape Metro, we are not in agreement with it on the basis of many contradictions that we are establishing. One is that the establishment of ministerial departments, for an example, the economy rests with the Department of Trade and Industry, which included now a competition. And that itself is pushing the ANC into one corner that go and deal with social wage, grants, NSI, NSFAS, and so on. Leave the economy to deal with substantive matters on its own. Now, our belief as the South African Communist Party in the district is that you cannot be in a position that a monopoly is given to a certain section of a community. And in that process, we believe some within the Congress Alliance have interest in that monopoly space to be part of it. Hence, they are able to let loose all those critical components of what we've been looking for. For an example, the president was going to sign the Bella Bill, which some of critical parts of it were deferred. If you go and look into what has been a contestation between the alliance in the form of COSATU, the SACP, in calling for a re-look into the NDP, Chapter 3, what that deals with the economy, that has never been deferred because it was called upon by friends which are in alliance with the ANC. Now the DA is in contradiction with the ANC on the Bella Bill, and the ANC government is able to defer some of those. Those we believe undermine the spirit of the alliance.
Very well. Thank you so much for speaking to us.